Hi, this is Bethany Marshall, and today I'm speaking with our author, Kevin Kirksey. And Kevin is the author of Life 2.0, A Journey from Near Death to New Life. Hi, Kevin. How are you today?
Hi there, Bethany. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for being here with me today to talk about your new book launch. We're so excited about this book and the message that you share. And I'm thrilled to be speaking with you today to talk a little bit more in depth about your book. So the first thing I'd like to just kind of ask is, could you tell us what inspired you to write this book?
That's a great question, and thanks for asking. It really all started with a rather shocking and unusual medical journey that where it was discovered, and what I've now come to know as divine intervention, that I was on the verge of a very near-term death, and I had no idea, no symptoms, no signs, no nothing. I actually felt perfect, but yet I was close to dying. And then the real story that unfolds with that medical journey was about the tremendously profound physical and emotional and spiritual transformation that I went through as a person, and how that came to be, and why it came to be, and what it's doing for the world around me. And so what was kind of coming together that began to inspire me was three things. I observed caregivers in the hospital scenario, both clinical and non-clinical, that were putting their lives on hold for me. They were doing selfless little things that they didn't have to, that were targeted toward providing my family and myself some comfort, some confidence, and sometimes a break from the pain that I was in. I counted and documented over 120 such things, and it really dawned on me how they conduct themselves through putting their lives on hold to care for others. And then about the same time, I reflected on a bucket list prayer that I had said moments before my life-saving surgery. And that, coupled with a set of spiritual experiences where I saw angels through the eyes of others, really led me to start putting two and two together. And the two and two I was putting together was, perhaps I should lead a different life. Perhaps I should focus on a life that's focused on others versus what historically had been focused on me. And just look at the world through a different lens. Um, I then became very motivated to pay it forward. And what I mean by that is I wanted to demonstrate that I could recover well. I definitely wanted to live a new, different life, and one that was really focused on others. And as I started to learn how to do that, and as I started doing it, I said, I'm going to give this a name, and I'm going to call it Life 2.0, hence the book. So the inspiration for the book was fueled by three objectives. One is I wanted to remind caregivers about their value, their relevance, and importance. After all, that's what they did for me. And I've come to know that to be a form of love, and I think it's a form of love we all can give. And then I also wanted to expose, from a profoundly personal point of view, how it is that they can impact lives even well beyond the healthcare setting in ways they never imagined. Another factor that led into this was I began hearing stories from people that I didn't even know, from different parts of the country, that had caught wind of what I went through and my journey. And I've started getting reports that in some cases, others had life-saving surgery as well, and they didn't even know that there was an issue. And so just to be in a position where something about what I've experienced can help another human was quite rewarding and quite humbling. And so the last inspiration was to live and continue to share this transformation that I went through, called Life 2.0, so that maybe others could be inspired to live their own Life 2.0, or whatever the case may be. So the real gift here, Bethany, to me, and the real blessing is it's been given an opportunity to help others, and in some case save lives. And that's what the real inspiration was about, to jot this down on paper.
Wow. What an incredible story, and incredible that you went through those experiences, and it changed your life so drastically, enough to the point that you, as you said, wanted to kind of pay that forward.
Yeah.
Um, So, wow. I imagine that you've got a lot of incredible content in this book that could really help inspire people in their own lives. Have you gotten any feedback yet from those who have read it and from those who know your story? And could you tell me a little bit about what feedback you've gotten so far?
Yeah, I've gotten tremendous feedback. It's been nothing short of amazing and humbling, not just from people that have read it that know me, but more people that don't know me, didn't know the story and read it. So I've had people that have read the book come back and report that it caused them to go get medically checked out. I've had others report that they're now inspired and compelled to live their own version of what I'm write about, called Life 2.0. I've had many chief nursing officers from hospitals around the country bring the book into their organization, and then they report back to me how inspired they and their staff were, particularly due to the personal approach that I take in the book on how they can impact the lives of their patients in ways that can result improved satisfaction and better outcomes. It's a big deal for the healthcare arena. Not to, I had one hospital CEO read the book, and he ended up purchasing 1,800 copies of it, one for every employee in the hospital. He was so impacted by it. I've been invited to speak healthcare organizations for the American Heart Association. I just a few weeks ago, I got a call to, go speak at a medical school, nothing I have ever done before. And I'll be speaking in a class that's kind of a new innovative class in medical schools today called Preparing for Practice, where they really spend time with the students getting and thinking about what their practice is going to be like. I've had opportunities to submit articles to nursing publications, and just recently, as I've mentioned to you earlier, I was asked to be a guest author as part of a book from an industry icon who is writing her 6th book, I believe, in the healthcare space. So yeah, it's been incredibly humbling that what I had to say in that book is making an impact, and people have a strong interest in it.
Mm, wow. Well, it's fascinating because you really speak to a couple of audiences, but from that patient's perspective, from somebody who had such a life-altering moment, and then you work so closely and had those experiences with your caregivers through that, I think is probably a really unique perspective that really bridges a lot of gaps for
Right.
people and understanding. So, what's next for you? I mean, you've written this book, and you've got all of these opportunities. It's really incredible to see what a book can present as far as opportunities for authors who so bravely share your stories.
Yeah, well, what I thought I would do is first show you this in case I ever decide to write Life 3.0, which I really don't know what that's about yet. I'm still involved in living this one. But there's the book. I love the cover design that was done for it, and I've gotten tremendous feedback as well about that.
Mm.
So what's in store for me? Here's what I see. I see more writing, whether they be articles or journals, or I see more speaking, speaking at hospitals, speaking at public events for the American Heart Association. One of the things that I will continue to do that's probably most rewarding for me is I continuously try to remind those in the healthcare space what they do, why they matter, and the difference that they make. And I try to etch the following into their hearts and their minds. And that goes like this: as patients, we move on, we move forward, but we never ever forget you are never left behind, especially in our time of prayer. And so my life's mission right now, Bethany, as a result of writing this book, it's inspired by the work that God wants me to do, which is really to continue paying it forward to patients, loved ones, families, healthcare providers, the humanity and community at large, by touching lives as far and wide as I possibly can. That's what my charter is right now. So thanks for asking that question. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So exciting to hear all of those developments, and I know I look forward to following along. So I feel like we barely have scratched the surface of all the things that we could talk about
Right.
with your message and your book. So for people today who want to dive deeper and learn more about you and about the book, or perhaps connect with you, what's the best way for them to find you online or connect with you?
Well, I'm certainly on Facebook. I am on LinkedIn. But one of the best ways to connect with me, I believe, is through my website. I've got a contact form, and the web URL is www.kevinkirkseyauthor.com. That's all one word, kevinkirkseyauthor.com. And there's a way that you can see a little bit about what I'm doing and what I'm writing about, as well as if you want to, contact me through an email or ask something or say something. It's all right there for you to do.
Amazing. Well, awesome. So people can go to kevinkirkseyauthor.com
Yep.
and connect with Kevin. So thank you so much, Kevin, for your time today, and congratulations on the launch of Life 2.0. We're looking forward to reading Life 3.0, but people can start here with this book
Right.
today. And yeah, really appreciate your time and your willingness to share your story in the form of the book. And Morgan James is so proud of you, proud of the message, and excited about this new book launch. So
I'm very thankful to be part of your family. Thank you.
thank you. Bye now.
Bye bye.